Cops help a black teen with his tie before a school dance. Well, this one is warm and fuzzy and real. Pennsylvania, Officer Brendan Linebarger of Pitcairn Police Department helped a young teen tie his tie before a school dance. You remember going to your first dance, how important it is? You don't know how to tie the tie. Maybe there's no one to help you. Here's the background. A lady they called Dee took her son Z to the police station requesting a citizen assist. By definition, these are non-emergency calls requested by a person that could range from anything like a noise complaint to lost property. The route with the details here. In this case, Detective Caruso was dispatched to respond to the call and learned upon arrival that the request was to help Dee's son with a wardrobe meltdown. He didn't know how to tie his necktie for the school dance. Dee didn't know how, and seemingly Caruso too. Now what? Well, she called Officer Brendan Linebarger for backup, and he came on the scene. He offered to tie it for him, teaching him how to loop, tuck, pull, or whatever you're supposed to do with it. He even made sure it was the perfect length right at the belt line. These are things I didn't know. These are things Dee didn't know. But didn't Dee get help for this young man? Police department said on Facebook, community policing is very important to the Pitcairn Police Department. Knowing that our residents know that they can come to our department and to our officers to assist them with a task so small of tying a tie is very important to us. Have a great time at your first school dance, see? Okay, I love this one. And those who know me know that I love to pick apart these police statements. We care, here for you, working for you, protecting you. You know, local news does the same slogans. And I could go in on whether that's true either. Watching out for you. But in this case, I find it very sincere. And it starts with what the statement begins with, okay? Knowing that our residents know that they can come to our department and to our officers to assist them with a task so small, tying a tie. That resonates with me on this one, Dina, because if there was discourse, and I'm not saying they're perfect, I haven't researched them all the way, but if there wasn't this comfort level, this person Dee knew, I can go there, I can call, and they'll be there for him. There's not a fear that they're going to turn it into something. I think that does speak to the truth, the veracity of the statement. What do you think?
I thought the absolute same thing. The fact that the mother was willing to have her son interact with this police officer, in some ways he becomes vulnerable, right? She kind of opens him up, but she trusts the police officer and really that police department. She probably didn't know which police officer was going to come out and help at the time. So that says a lot to me that they are doing that community police work, but they said, and here in Los Angeles, LAPD had years of problems, the Rodney King beatings, the Rampart division scandal, and they finally did a task force. And one of the big things that changed the LAPD significantly was this community policing. Cities that don't ever really do an outside task force and kind of really hold themselves accountable and do change have problems over and over and over. But if they're willing to change how they interact with the community that they're supposed to be keeping safe, to form a trust level, and not only a trust, but she must have known them. She has had interactions with them outside of security, let's say, or policing. That's the idea of community policing, being in a community, developing relationships. If they're willing to do that kind of work, they can change policing. And sadly, a lot of cities and police aren't willing to do it. Here, it shows how valuable that is.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think it's a loving mutual respect here. I don't want to make too much of it, but I think it's very real. And you're right. She didn't know who was coming. Could have been anyone, okay? But I don't think she was, rolling the dice here. I think she had some comfort level making this call. And I think what this police department in Pennsylvania, Pitcairn Police Department, is doing is not that difficult, but it sure does mean something. Just like you're talking about in Los Angeles. So kudos. I'll keep my big mouth shut and won't criticize your statement because your statement is real.